Life after trauma requires you to self-reflect. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. And yes, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it doesn't apply, it's not for you. Don't force it. Let it fly. But most importantly, grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. In this video, we're going to go over and discuss life after trauma, self-reflections, what were the lessons that we had to learn, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and what you should be aware of. So the first disclaimer, when you go through a significant amount of trauma, it's going to change you. Psychologically, emotionally, physically, financially, consciously, subconsciously, howeverly, doctorly, one band, one sound. You are not who you used to be. So rather you go through traumatic situations and it challenges you in a negative or positive way, you are going to have to change. So until you realize that trauma changes who you are, you're going to feel paranoid, you're going to feel paralyzed, you're going to feel stuck and stagnant, and you're going to allow whatever happened to you, to hinder you. The second disclaimer you have to realize is that as you are learning to allow yourself to grieve, you have to take time to process what has happened to you. And how you take the time to reflect is to talk about what happened to you and how it made you feel. You have to be vulnerable. You have to seek some type of assistance, whether it's through yourself, journaling, meditation, YouTube videos, counselors, psychiatrists, therapists, God, ancestors, universe, take what resonates, leave the rest, because I'm not here to force religion or spirituality or people that you can confide in. But until you learn to not suppress your feelings and to validate how you feel, there's going to be a lot of limitations. There's going to be a lot of blockages, and you're going to self-sabotage, and you're going to self-sabotage until mentally you feel psychotic. Emotionally, you feel depressed and anxious and even suicidal. A lot of people who go through trauma are embarrassed and are ashamed because maybe the abusers who partake in this trauma made them feel like they needed to be isolated or silenced, or maybe because they were never vocal or able to express themselves or be vulnerable because they were around people who were immature and maybe who have not gone through certain things in their life, or maybe didn't have the emotional intelligence. You cannot allow people who have not suffered or gone through anything in their life make you feel bad about you being vulnerable, or you crying, or you grieving, or talking about how you feel. You cannot allow yourself to not articulate yourself, or allow yourself to be angry and frustrated because certain people and places and things want to gaslight you or manipulate you or hurt or harm you. That's what we're not going to do over here. And I'm speaking from experience. The amount of trauma that I went through with other people, I have never and will never allow them to have that satisfaction. Not because it's about ego or pride or arrogance or any of those things, but it's because this is my life. I'm allowed to live how I want to, and the same thing with you. Not just that, we did not come here to suffer and to be hurt and to be traumatized. Even though there's a lot of corruption and chaos in this world, that doesn't mean everybody in the world is suffering, because everyone in the world is not suffering, and it doesn't make it acceptable. So the third disclaimer is knowing that what you went through was real. A lot of times too, people want to sweep their problems underneath the rug. That's not healthy. We're not here to fake it until we make it, and we're not here to judge anybody. So if you're judgmental, you like to fake your problems, you try to act like you don't have feelings, you want to be nonchalant, send and share this video to somebody who is not that. As adults, we're here to talk about it. Nobody's going to judge you. This is a judge-free channel is what I wanted to say. Like, who are you? So many people have gone through so much things and they've kept quiet about it. So many people have been silenced by their abusers. We're not being silenced. So if that makes you feel uncomfortable, don't be out here doing bad things to people. Like, everybody reaps what they sow. And it's like, you should never be afraid of anybody or allow anybody to blackmail you or to threaten you. Like, nobody is bigger than a plot when it comes to your life. So the fourth thing you have to realize is that when you are going through fluctuations of emotions and you're not who you used to be, you have to go through it. Like, you have to have days where you feel good. You have to have days where you feel sad. You're gonna have days where you feel mad. Like, you're going to have to allow the time to go by, because you can't rush the process. You can't rush healing, and you can't rush your life. Like, there is no age expectancy to life. Some people live for 2 years, 20 years, 30, 40, 100. You don't know. So because we're not here to compare ourselves, because we're not here to live our life to other people, we have to be okay with where we are and what we went through. Like, you don't need to feel like you're far in life or further in life compared to people you know, because once again, if they were never hit by a bus, if they were never touched on inappropriately, if they didn't come from a narcissistic and dysfunctional background, if they've never had, to struggle, like, who are they to tell you that you need to do certain things in your life at a certain age or a certain time, or that you being angry or you being sad makes you weak? It doesn't. Like, once again, only malicious, and I'm gonna throw a little bit of shade, only malicious people will sit here and try to invalidate somebody's emotions. Like, unless you don't have a heart, which everyone does, because you wouldn't be alive, like, so many people I've met, like I said, who are enablers and who are abusers want you to not speak up. Like, no, speak up. You cannot silence me. I've never been silenced. I never will be silenced. And you have to realize that, like, what you went through was to allow you to speak up. So maybe you had to experience significant amount of trauma so you can learn not to be silent. So therefore you can learn how to speak up for yourself. So now, getting into the recommendations, the first thing I recommend is that you allow yourself to be honest. You have to realize that you went through this significant amount of trauma for a reason. Of course, when you're going through it, like I said, if you don't have family or friends, or if you don't have a guidance counselor, if you don't go to God, your answers to the universe, if you are just somebody who's just used to being alone, it's not going to seem like it. And I'm speaking from experience. But for me, I've been fortunate to have protection in this reality and other seen realities. But like, if you just don't know anything about life, like if you don't believe anything, automatically you're going to feel alone. You're not alone. I'm making this video. It's 8 billion people allegedly on this planet. It's really important that when you are self-reflecting, you just acknowledge that when you were touched on at an early age, it made you paranoid. It made you have trust issues. Maybe it made you feel angry towards certain people. Like, you have to be okay and not be embarrassed or ashamed about what it is that you went through, because you went through it. And the longer you try to suppress or deny what has happened to you, you're the only person who is suffering inside. And when you suffer inside, you hurt and harm people who are meant to come into your life to help you and to support you and be there for you. And I'm somebody, I'm a person. Like, everybody in this world, like I said, is not evil. Everybody in this world is not corrupt. There are some people who have never been traumatized like the way we've been traumatized before. And like I said, it's not to compare and contrast, and this is why you don't do that. But it's like, everyone's not a bad person, but you're not going to know that if you've only been surrounded by, like I said, dysfunction, confusion, and corruption. The second recommendation is just knowing that you were supposed to learn something. So on your piece of paper, on your notes, I want you to list a traumatic situation in your life. And I want you to realize how it affected you. I want you to ask yourself what it is that you felt, and what do you think that you were meant to learn from it. And even let me know in the comment section. So I'll give you guys an example. I was 20 years old. I lost my dad. He passed away. What I was supposed to learn over time, and like I said, I'm not rushing you guys, was to love people while they're here, to be grateful for people, when they're in your life, but most importantly, that nobody is always going to be there for you. So, of course, that sounds simple. It sounds like common sense. Common sense is not common. Like, it's more to it, but I'm just giving you guys a brief example, because I know, like, talking about these things could be, like, very vulnerable. But, like, because I've overcame it, I'm just letting you know, like, there is purpose with our pain and our suffering. And the main purpose, like I said, for me was to just really be appreciative and grateful for the people who love you and support you, because there's going to be a moment that they're not always going to be in your life forever. And that, for me personally, like with my dad specifically, because he was my parent, the connection was knowing that even though my parent is not alive, I could still move forward, because when he passed away, a part of me passed away, like who I once was, because the love and the energy was mutual. I got cut off, you guys. My alarm went off. But depending on the situation, I want you to figure out what it is that you were supposed to learn. So I think that was the third or the fourth recommendation. Let me know what number I'm on, because I'm not editing this video, you guys. I'm just going to keep it like straight through. So most importantly, when you are self-reflecting, let's just say that was the third recommendation. After you are able to realize what it is that you were supposed to learn, the fourth thing you need to do is just allow yourself to grieve. Grieving is not a one size fit all. It could take weeks, it could take days, it could take years, it could take months. Like initially when my father passed away, like the exact moment, like I was very numb, because I've already went through some trauma like within that year, like a couple of months beforehand. So it's like, it wasn't until like I seen that he was no longer alive and I realized like he was no longer in my life, like initially in that year, that I was like, okay. But it wasn't until like years afterwards that it hit me like, my life is not the same. It will never be the same. I'm not who I once was. And that even though I felt sad and, you know, I felt the way I felt, I had to realize like, okay, I still have to live my life. Like, even though he's not here, I still have to live. Like, a lot of times when we go through traumatic situations, depending on like the severity of it, like I said, it changes us. And the biggest lesson that I've learned just in life in general was that I still have to be me. Like, I still have to grow. Like, I still have to live my life. Like, just because I may have thought or may not have been aware that certain people were going to be in my life forever, because a lot of times you don't know certain things until you experience it, if you don't have that level, like I said, of wisdom or discernment. So it's like, even though like a person that I loved and I cared for, I thought they were going to be in my life, or didn't know how long they were going to be in my life, like I still had to move forward, if that makes sense. So it's just like learning to grieve, like I said, it takes time. And if you're somebody and you don't have, like I said, the wisdom or the discernment or the knowledge, you don't have to feel bad. So that's the fourth thing. Like, stop feeling bad about having to handle situations alone or by yourself or on your time. Like, I don't feel bad. I'm 28 years old. As I'm making this video, it's been 8 years specifically when my father passed away. Today is November 7th, 2025. My dad passed away November 7th, 2017. Like, it's a lot that you're going to learn from your trauma. The goal is to learn from it. So obviously when you are dealing with life, as you live your life afterwards, you don't feel stuck and stagnant. You don't become bitter. You don't become angry. Because had I not taken these last 8 years of my life to reflect and to heal and to seek assistance, like therapy and psychiatrists and God and answers to the universe, I would probably still be angry and frustrated and limit myself from doing the things that I want to do. Again, that chopped video, you guys, this video is like the most chopped. But no, what I was saying is that, like, had I not been able to take the time to self-reflect and learn certain lessons, I wouldn't be able to do what I wanted to do, but deny who I am. And I'm making this video to reassure you, like, do not allow your current circumstances to hinder you. Yes, you're gonna feel how you feel. Yes, it's going to take years, months, and days. Yes, you're gonna feel sad. Yes, you're gonna feel angry. Yes, you're gonna lose a lot of things in life, but the goal is detachment. Once we can realize that certain people and places and things are only gonna be in our life for a certain amount of time, certain opportunities, jobs, materials are only gonna be in our life for a certain amount of time, even yourself, you will learn when to allow things to be in the life when it's in your life, and allow things to leave. So therefore, when it's time to leave, you don't overextend yourself. And it doesn't even have to be a parent. Like, there are going to be times in your life where you're surrounded by people, places, and things that you're meant to outgrow, but because you're so familiar, because you're so attached, because you have so much love and energy, when it's time for them to move on, you don't know what to do. So it's just like, regardless of the relationship or the situation or the scenario, like, it's just really important to learn what you need to learn, so therefore we can continue to live our life. Like, it's no reason to allow our trauma to hinder us. And even if other people and places and things done certain things to us, which we'll talk in deep dive in like the next video or just in general, we still can't allow that to affect us, because it's like, yes, sometimes we experience trauma because we're surrounded by certain people, places, and things, but it's like, if you look at it from a bird's eye view, if you look at it from your highest self, it's literally because there were certain things that you needed to learn about yourself. Like me losing my dad, there were a lot of things that I had to learn about myself and just about life in general, because this is my life. Like, this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is what I was meant to experience. And it's like, instead of being so hard on ourselves about what happened to us and how it happened to us, just realize that if you are able to overcome your trauma, you are okay. Like, a lot of people don't overcome certain situations and circumstances. Like, some people end up dying, like some people like end up getting diseases, some people end up getting sick. Like, I've met people in real time, like when trauma has happened to them, they've gotten sick and they've passed away, or when trauma happened to them, they end up making decisions and it led them to death or to jail or just being angry. And because I personally don't want to experience that, because I've witnessed that in life, I've learned, just like I said, to just allow myself to self-reflect and to take my time, and to be angry when I was angry, to be happy when I was happy, to talk about when I wanted to talk about it, and not allow certain people, places, and things to make me feel bad. And most importantly, cutting off people who did not have the emotional capacity or the emotional intelligence to support me, or to separate myself from people who talked about me and made fun of me. Like, all those people are just lame and losers, and it's disgusting, it's degrading, because it's like, nobody should ever feel embarrassed about talking about vulnerability and trauma. Like, there wouldn't be a lot of corruption and chaos if people did speak up. So it's like, don't be silenced. Use your voice, use your platforms, do what you need to do. But most importantly, take your time. I don't want to make this video too much longer because it's, like I said, really choppy. Let me know what you guys liked about this video, how you guys are handling your, you know, trauma, your griefs, what you had to learn, what are some things that you had to let go of, you know, as well as liking these videos. Like always, thank you for liking, okay? Thank you for always engaging. Thank you for turning on your post notifications. Follow me on all my social media platforms. All the information is down in the description box below, as well as booking your service in your session if you're ready to move forward, or you just need like some advice or an outline step by step, like, as well as watching these videos. Keep up with you guys, because like, yeah, like, we're in the month of November and moving forward for this year, and just in general, like, you need to be caught up, because all the other videos I'm telling you guys what to do and how to do it right now is like, this is life after trauma. Like, our identity changes, we're not who we used to be. Like I said, trauma changes you. So yeah, like, it's time for us to live our best life. It's time for us to celebrate. It's time for us to not be sad, because you're not gonna always be sad forever. Like, this doesn't mean that my dad passing away, I'm just like, oh, F him. Like, no, it's like, okay, it's gonna come a point in your life where you have to move on, because you're still living. So like I said, as long as we're able to live through our trauma and we're able to heal and learn what we need to learn, you will learn. You will be okay. And you're still gonna have moments where you get sad. Like, you still have moments where you think about these people and these places and things. Like, I still think about my dad. Like, I'm never not gonna forget him, but it's just like, I have to live my life, because we're gonna grow older. That's the beauty of life. Like, nothing is permanent, nothing's gonna last forever. So it's like, we don't need to be sad, we don't need to be bitter, we just need to be honest. We need to learn a lesson, and most importantly, trust ourselves and trust our intuition, and just become more confident. And like I said, just surrounding ourselves with people who allow you to be you. Like, anybody who's rude and disrespectful, ignore them, do not respond to them. Like, even the people that be trolling what people say, even the people who be making these hate videos, and people that be envious and talk about you, they've gone through a lot of trauma. It's just, they are the people who have not took the time to heal. Don't be like them. Don't be like them. Like, it's one thing to be traumatized and maybe you don't have the resources like therapy or friends and family, but if you're watching these videos or you're looking up information on YouTube, that's one thing. But I don't have any type of sympathy for people who are willfully ignorant, meaning they know they've been traumatized, and instead of them trying to get help, instead of them trying to have the resources, instead of them trying to go to God, into the universe, instead of them trying to want better, they project and deflect, and they take that energy out onto people who did nothing to them, because that's what you don't want, and I'm not here to tolerate it, and neither will you guys. So yeah, just know that life after trauma, when you go through trauma, it's valuable lessons that you're supposed to learn. Learn the lessons so you don't have to keep repeating the same cycles, okay? Love you, bye.